Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming back to week 3 of our Facebook E.S.A challenge, where we're learning to eliminate, simplify, strategize, and take action towards what matters most. My name is Lakeisha Gates, your accountability coach and the founder of Dynamic. You can visit my website at www.lakeishagates.com. There you can sign up to receive a free 13 ways to be dynamic and join our community, our email group. You can also head over to Facebook at BUBDynamic or Instagram at B_dynamic. Join our community, be social. We would love to hear from you. There we hold each other accountable and you get tips and strategies on how to increase your productivity, regain balance, and start taking action towards what matters most. During our 4-week E.S.A challenge, we already went through week 1, creating vision boards surrounding what matters most to us. Most of you guys completed those and submitted them online. I appreciate that. And then in week 2, we talked about our roles and starting to implement weekly planning by downloading the form that was attached and just taking a view of your current schedule versus what your ideal schedule would look like. So this week, we're going to be talking about simplifying and strategizing. And what do I mean when I say simplify? Simplify, in my definition, is creating balance in your life. And how do we simplify our life? We first need to be present in our life. We need to pay attention and focus. So much time we spend subconsciously doing things and we don't even know why. We need to show up to life. We need to be present. We need to pay attention. We need to focus. An example of how we can do that is through prayer, by connecting ourselves to the Holy Spirit and allowing Him to lead us and guide us and allow our eyes to see and our ears to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is telling us. We also need to learn how to do one thing at a time. Instead of trying to juggle 15 different things, similar to what we talked about in week 2 about the cat in the hat syndrome, let's focus on one thing at a time and complete that thing and finish and follow through to the end. And then also ask yourself, does this exercise or activity help or hurt my progress towards living a life of what matters most? Taking that simple time to answer that question will help you make more decisions that are aligned with what matters most to you. Strategize. What does that mean? My definition is to take control of your life and your environment and start making decisions based on what is going on and what is going to get you from point A, your current situation, to point B, your future situation. So how do you build a strategy for your life? We first want to implement the weekly review. If you haven't done that already, we started working on that over the last 2 weeks of just choosing a day out of the week and plan out your week. That helps to build a system around you being prepared. Instead of being reactive, you're being proactive towards your life. You're preparing for what you have going on in the coming week. We also need to create routines, a morning and an evening routine, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes to make your bed or make sure that you brush your teeth or make sure that you have a bottle of water. Just creating whatever that morning routine, something that you can do consistently every day in the morning and in the evening, will help you create a strategy for your life. And then we're going to implement the Power 96, where you're going to choose your largest task for the day and focus on it for 96 minutes a day. Why are we going to do this? If most of you have probably heard of the 80-20 rule, where you focus 80% of your time and energy on 20% of your work that is really important, since only 20% of your activities really matter. And you use your Power 96 to work on that 20% each day. What does that mean? That means that we have 80% of tasks and we only need to focus about 20% of our time to accomplish those 80% of the tasks. So what we're going to do is select one major task, especially the one that you don't want to do. You want to pick that one first and focus 96 minutes on it, whether it's washing clothes, whether it's cleaning up, whether it's going to run errands, going to the bank, going to the grocery store, whatever it is. Each day, pick your 20% and focus your 96 minutes on it. You'll be surprised how much your productivity is increased. So I want you guys to take some time to think back to a time when you had a system that worked and you felt confident about it and you felt strong and you felt excited about a system that actually worked for you. Then next, I want you to write down that memory and describe how it made you feel. Did it make you feel happy? Did it make you feel accomplished? Did it make you feel confident? Write down how it made you feel. So think back to a time when you had a system that worked and you felt confident. And write it down and then describe how that situation made you feel. And next, ask yourself, has anything changed in your life since this experience? Have you gotten married, had kids, maybe gotten a divorce, moved to a new city or to a new country? And then I want you to reflect and ask yourself, if things have changed in my life, if I've added an additional kid, if I've gotten married, if I've gotten divorced, why would I expect for the same system to work for my life that is totally different now? So I want you guys to just think about that and give yourself some grace and begin to understand that building a system takes time. You want to make sure that you are trying and trying until you find the right system that works for you. And don't get upset with yourself if you build a system and it doesn't work. You tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until you find something that actually really works for you. So your future depends on what you do in the present. That's what Gandhi said. What you do now is going to determine what your future looks like. So I'm going to ask you guys to build as you go. Realize that what you envision in the future or what you see yourself being in the future, it represents just that, your future self. You must build yourself up through habit, commitment, and consistency to become the person who is representative of the future vision. That's going to take work. That's going to take simplification. That's going to take strategizing. We don't want to get caught up into what the media or our friends or trying to keep up with the Joneses. We don't want to get caught up into that. We want to live strong. We want to make decisions based off of what matters most to us, not what the world says that we should or should be doing or should be purchasing. So I encourage you guys to keep it simple. Don't try to add too many things to your plate. Remember the process of elimination when we talked about learning to say no. It's okay to say no and not add anything additional to our plate. And I want you guys to implement your weekly review where you're mapping out, at least in general, what your coming week is going to look like. Start to think about what your morning and your evening routine could be. And then also implement the Power 96. And that's something that we all can do. Focus 1.5 hours, 1 hour and a half each day to focus on an activity, to focus on a task that's going to dictate how the rest of our 80% is going to be lived out. I know that you can do this, and I trust that if you have any questions, you'll leave them in the comments below. And I want to thank you guys for continuing on this journey. We still have 3 more days this week, and so I'll be following up more on how we simplify and strategize, but really just take the time to soak this information in, answer the questions from the activity, and start to see if we can implement some of the strategy by completing our weekly review and implementing a morning and an evening routine and trying out the Power 96. So I thank you for coming along to the Week 3 Facebook E.S.A Challenge, where we're learning to eliminate, simplify, strategize, and take action towards what matters most. My name is Lakeisha Gates. Thank you for joining me. And remember, don't wait until tomorrow. Do something dynamic today.